Alright guys, welcome back. We are watching Made in Abyss Season 1, Episode 12. Last time, we met up with Mitty. We had some weird shit going on with Reg and his memories and all of that stuff. Rico's recovery is, I don't know, I guess it's going. We got a whole bunch of stuff. We got mushrooms and stuff happening. Pretty cool, like the weird, like, symbiotic mushroom stuff. It's pretty interesting. They're like, life in this show is always really cool. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, weird stuff with Reg's memories. Talk about that stuff with him with Liza. I feel like that's really coming together now. I guess. And I remember this episode is called "The True Nature of the Curse," so pretty hyped for that. I don't know. I guess I didn't think we were gonna be getting the true nature of the curse, but sounds good. So I guess that's it. We're watching episode 12. You can line you and copy up with this if you want to. We are starting in 3, 2, 1. Oh, we're on the surface. Oh, and Kyui is sick. Globe-trotting caravan fleet. As well, pharmacy's better than nothing, maybe. Okay, interesting. Oh, wow, he is very sick. That's interesting, though, that they have to get this random traveling pharmacist to help. Do they not have... I guess, I assume they brought him to doctors here, too, and no one could do anything, right? In Orth. Man, okay. Her hair looks cool. Oh god. Oh god. The birthday thing. It can't like that would be insane. Like, yeah, the thing that Nat said. The birthday death disease. Okay, so it's more than just like the ghost story. People dying on the day they were born. What the hell does that mean? Ooh, interesting. I'm trying to think how we can connect that to anything at all, you know? Dying on your birthday. Huh. Oh, yeah, that makes sense, right? It's an orphanage after all. Oh, wow. It's beautiful. But it's happening, apparently. God, that looks crazy. Oh, okay. He's all good. Okay. What happened? Interesting. Okay. What does that mean? So he was getting sick. Hmm. Something about Orth, something about proximity to the Abyss, right? Because, I was just looking at that shot of them walking out of Orth, and I was thinking about how Orth itself is, like, down in a, down in a valley, right? So it makes you wonder, I guess. Absolutely. Oh, which is itself referred to as a curse. No, we'll talk about that. Ooh, longing. That is quite the curse, huh? Oh, no, it's like she's saying the same thing I was thinking. Life without longing is more terrifying than death itself. God, that was a good one. That was a good one, huh? Hmm. I like that Caravan Girl, what she said there about, like how crazy the Abyss is. That is true, right? Because we just gotta remember, it seems like out there in the world, outside of the Abyss, it's like, I guess we don't know, but it seems like kind of a normal world, and they just found this crazy ass Abyss, Certainly from the way she was talking about it, that it's something that defies, logic, essentially. Like, imagine if we found the Abyss in our world, Like, what? I mean, wouldn't even make any sense, right? What would we do? I guess again, I'm saying that we would just like drop a nuclear bomb down it or something, and it'd be very short lived. Once we found out it's full of monsters, it's out of there. It's long gone. But but if we didn't do that, then it would be pretty crazy. Hmm. I imagine what I'm thinking is probably pretty obvious, but Orth is like down in a valley around the abyss when Kiri was taken away from it. But no, the curse doesn't work like that, though, right? Because the curse only activates when you go up, not just when you're close to the abyss, right? But it's obvious that getting him away from the abyss, getting him away from Orth, made this thing stop happening. But why would people start dying on their birthday? Well, like, what the hell does that have to do with the abyss or the curse or anything? The true nature of the curse. And we got our fluffy guy there again. Orbichan, right? Absolutely. Man, it's just that it's that unease of like being Reg, you know? Having these memories that you can't access, not knowing what you are. It's scary. Mitty, what are you doing? Girl, what's happening? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, you brought her stuff up, clearly. Mitty, what? Hello? Get off! I don't think Mitty's gonna hurt her. Come on. She's just slobbering on her. That's okay. Sure, okay. Just as a general statement, huh? Oh, okay. Interesting. Was she a cave raider as well? Just like Rico? Maybe, right? It'd be pretty impressive to have gotten down to the sixth layer. Oh, how so? Oh, okay. Literally. Okay. That is very interesting. That's an interesting effect for the curse to have. Can neutralize poisons. Okay. Yeah, were you cave raiders? Hmm. He might. He might. Ah, might be beyond help there, right? That's the attitude I think Nanachi has about her situation is that it's impossible, I guess, right? It's impossible to fix Mitty. That's certainly what she thinks. Come on, maybe it tastes better than it looks. Oh god, that texture. Oh no. Getting him a big helping. Oh god, that's so much. Yeah, it's gotta be good then. Fresh ingredients. Yeah, come on. Well, yeah, there's a fish in it, Reg. Come on. Hmm. I bet it's good. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good. My bad. I'm sorry. It's not good. Some kind of secretion. She did her best. Come on. I don't know. Maybe Nanashi's taste buds changed with their transformation. Never gotten to eat good food before. What do you mean? God, that sound. Don't say that. Can you cook, Reg? Like, so disappointed. Reg was being mean. Come on. Interesting. It's dark down here. I thought like the force field made the light or whatever. Yeah, it's true. I don't know. They might be in better shape than you two. But maybe that's the point. Maybe not. She's trying to dissuade them from going further. I don't know. Don't want to end up like them after all. Oh, from that line when Nanashi said the thing about seeing the curse, right? But if Red can't see it, yeah, sure, exactly. Then does it even matter? Do anything, huh? What could you even possibly do for her, honestly? A taste of what it's like. Okay. Of the curse? I don't like the sound of that. Ooh, that looks weird. What is this? Okay. Under the film, I guess. Fogweave, a grade 3 relic. Oh, okay. Super thin piece of cloth. Yeah, looks pretty cool. What is? The true nature of the Curse of the Abyss? I'm not really following, though. So, okay. So I guess none she's like showing us what it looks like, I guess. Okay. Interesting. So it's yeah, it's like a gas. Yeah, is it literally like a gas? Well, no, it's only when you go up, right? It's all around you. Well, no, because Nana she said it's like layers on top of you. So I guess it's not really a gas, maybe. I guess. Sure. Oh, wow, okay. You don't want to break it. Interesting. Hmm. Okay. So it depends what part of you passes through it. Okay. Yeah, obviously, in that case, like, Rico's whole body fucking went through it, right? You just go through it, I guess. Yeah. Interesting. That is interesting. I don't know. Yeah. I hadn't really thought. Okay. Hmm. Now that we're getting, like, a more physical description of it, you know? Yeah, right. It's like a trap. Yeah, you know. Huh. Thematically, I think there's something to be said about that. That I feel like. But, like, in universe, that is very interesting. The force field, yeah. Okay. So the force field essentially just is the curse, right? Or I guess perhaps the curse is just part of the force field, right? Sure. Okay. So I guess the true mystery is what the hell is the force field then, right? Right. Yeah. I wonder if it has to do with the fact that it goes like up to get to the entrance here, you know what I mean? And it is so far out from the middle, you know? Hmm. Interesting. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wasn't as calm as this place, surely, but ooh, responds to their very consciousness and alters its flow. Okay. It can predict the future. Sure, because of your consciousness altering the force field, I guess? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Really seems like they might be trying to convince us to not go down, but I don't know. This is like the third time they've said something like this, you know? Huh. So the idea is that the orb piercer can see the force fields. It's altered by your consciousness. So then it can like see what you're doing or what you're thinking, I guess, by the effects on the force field. That's like insane. I don't know. Hmm. Oh, sure. Okay. Sure. Your orders are absolute. Yes, ma'am. Mitty, what are we doing? I guess I feel bad for you. I mean, I do. Is there any of you left in there? It certainly seems like Nanachi doesn't think so. They shot to your eyes, you know? Oh, that's Rico. That's Rico's eyes. Interesting. I mean, is this like what Mitty feels like? Yeah, seems like it. Maybe worse, judging off that crying. Hmm. Interesting. Huh. Kind of like link between them, you know? Seems like more than just like a dream, you know, right? I mean, hmm. And it's like, especially now that we're delving into this idea of consciousness being this thing that does affect the environment down here. That is interesting, right? Them having like that link like that. So there certainly is some MIDI left in there then, right? But if it's, I guess, does it even matter if that's the situation she's in? We got a headset now. Okay. Oh, you know, over here. One of their hiding spots. What are we doing exactly? Oh, a whistle. Um, Not another, like, animal mimicking sounds of humans, right? Oh, no. Oh, you can save him. Okay, let's go. We're getting revenge. We're getting revenge on the evil fluffy thing. Let's go. Let's kill the orb piercer, I guess. Black whistle. It it is pretty ridiculous. Hmm. Sure, sounds good. We can get revenge. Of course, who even knows if this is the same orb piercer, right? I mean, I assume there's multiple of them. Okay, I guess. I hope Reg is invincible to this thing. Okay, sure. Look up and completely commit to it. Okay, sure. Her orders are absolute. God, I hate this thing's face. That literally. Oh, oh, is that what it looks like? Okay, with his eyes closed. Oh, okay, all right. I, she's good, I guess. Man, really can't see the future, huh? I mean, I guess Nanachi can too, right? I mean, they can see the force field. Oh, the organ it uses to sense the force field. That uncoupling your actions from your conscious mind, you'd never be able to touch it. I guess that makes sense, right? Yeah. God, that's such a fucking crazy thing for like a predator to have, you know? Oh, fuck. I hope he's invincible to this poison. Sure. Oh, yeah. That thing is, there's no reason. It's just a predator, you know? It doesn't. Oh, yeah. Nanachi hasn't seen the fucking. Oh, he missed, though. Did not get a very good shot, unfortunately. Shed its spines. Okay. Oh, fuck. Yeah, pretty crazy, huh? Hmm. Greg really is something. That's making me wonder now. I wonder. if Nanachi has seen something like Reg before, you know? Because Nanachi was down deep in the abyss. Okay, sure. How long does it take to regrow them? Gonna say anything to him? You're welcome for saving you. Yeah, don't want him to find the base, I guess. Right. Oh, a message. Okay, right. Sure. Saying what? Okay, still on our adventure. What a thing to say after everything that's happened to Rico in the last few episodes, you know? But I guess that shows Reg's resolve that he knows we're not giving up just yet, you know? That we are gonna keep pushing on. Because of course Rico wouldn't want to give up either, right? No chance of that. Absolutely. God, that's actually a sad thing to say because Reg has no fucking memories, you know? So of course it's the guy he didn't even know for that long who's the most reliable. Ooh, that would be nice, huh? Okay, sure. Okay. It's gonna be something crazy. Like, I don't know. Mitty. Oh! 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 Oh. Right. No, that makes sense. That makes a whole lot of sense, doesn't it? It's that crazy thing from the opening. Oh, wow. No, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Yeah. Unable to do it themselves, I assume. But probably sees that it's what should happen, I guess. That Mitty's suffering, I suppose. God, that's such a sad thing, though, with the confirmation we have now that there is some kind of Mitty left in there, you know? But. So, in that sense, is it going to happen or not? Is Red going to kill Mitty? I don't know. If it's true that it's impossible to get Mitty back, I have to assume, of course, that Nanachi can't bring themselves to do it, right? It might be for the best, right? I mean, if it's impossible and Mitty's suffering that much, because not only have we seen that there's some amount of Mitty left in there, right? But they're also suffering, and their existence is screaming and crying, right? So, and I guess what for Nanachi, this is probably the closest bond they've formed in a while with Reg, right? Because they isolate themselves, they don't talk to people. Hmm. And maybe seeing like the laser, that's like the means to do it, right? Just obliterate her completely, make her not exist. Guess probably be pretty painless way to die. Oh, that's sad. Oh, that's so sad. Oh man. Hmm. Sure does seem like Nanachi is gonna take them up on their offer to go down into the abyss, right? Which makes you assume no more MIDI around by that case, right? Just based off the ending, right? I guess who knows. Okay, the challengers. Alright, we will talk about the episode in the discussion. Okay, let's talk about the episode. It just started raining really hard outside. I hope you guys can't hear that. I don't know. Anyway, so we start off here, up in Orth with this weird birthday death disease thing. So, God, I don't know what to think about this. Okay, so my initial thoughts, just immediately when I saw this, because in a shot in a moment. Okay, so for one, obviously, it's weird that they have to ask her for help with it. For this caravan lady, right? Um, it makes you think one. Oh, I guess there's a few options. One, either no one on Earth can do anything to help Kiwi. I assume Leader has already brought Kiwi somewhere to try and get him help, right? They haven't been waiting on this random lady to show up. He's not even a doctor, right? So either no one has been able to help him, which would be horrible, or two, Leader what doesn't want to bring him to a doctor, right? Like it would be bad if it got out that people in the orphanage are dying. Maybe that's too conspiracy brained. That might be I don't know, but I feel like it has to be one of those. I don't know what the other explanation would be, right? Because there obviously have to be doctors in Orth, right? So I don't know. I don't know. Her hair looks pretty cool. We don't get her name, I think, but she has a very, I don't know, very unique design, that's for sure. But anyway, the shot we get in a second here, with them walking out of Orth. So, okay. So Leader says, yeah, a bunch of people have been dying on the day they were born. It's the birthday death disease, right? A whole bunch of funerals happening for it, even. Ashes of the deceased are returned to the abyss, together with the eternal fortune flowers. Two others at the orphanage died in the same way. Yeah, so people who we don't even know their birthday are dying, probably from the same thing. This is the shot I'm talking about, where it makes it... This shot really, I feel like it really defines how it shows you that Orth is indeed, like, in this crater, you know? Obviously, I mean, we knew that before. Just this shot, I feel like, really, like, emphasizes that, you know? And what I immediately thought when I saw this is, like, okay, it's almost like Orth itself is, like, part of the Abyss. You know what I mean? Like, what if Orth... Well, no, I mean, that's just kind of where the idea ends, though, right? Like, I guess we could, you know, to just like pan it out all the way. We could say the birthday death disease thing is happening for a similar reason that like the Curse of the Abyss is happening, right? And like you could say Orth is essentially like part of the Abyss, something like that, right? And that's why Kiwi got cured when he got away from Orth, when he got away from the Abyss, right? Obviously, that's weird because the Curse of the Abyss only activates when you go up, and QE wasn't going up. And what does it have to do with birthdays? Right? Why would it happen on your birthday? Right? Like what could the connection possibly be to like I have no that is man, that is a curveball. I have no clue what the abyss has to do with birthdays and people dying. I don't know. And it's interesting you get cured when you go away from it. Because again, it's like because we talked about the curse in this episode, right? And the curse is the force field in the abyss. Of course, we don't know what the force field is exactly, right? That's kind of the next like mystery, I suppose. We got to figure out like what the force field is, I guess. Like I mean, it's just it seems like to me it's just like a name for just some kind of substance, some kind of thing in the environment down there that exists, and it does all this stuff. The animals down there have certainly evolved to factor in the force field and stuff. It's really fucking cool. It's stuff the orb piercer. But it's like it would make you think, okay, if the force field is causing the curse, I mean, is the force field somehow expanding out onto Orth? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how would it be affecting people in Orth too? Like if that's what it was, and that's why Kiwi was cured when he got away, right? Just weird, just weird. God, the chef looks so cool. Doesn't it look really cool? I don't know. But yeah, he's fine. He's a-okay. Yeah, and I mean, she even says it too, right? It's some kind of curse or spell, right? And that's where we are. We're at the abyss, right? Something completely absurd, the great pit of the netherworld. And we get some very good narration from Liza. Longing seizes people more powerfully than poison and more deeply than illness. It absolutely does. I think that is very relevant to a lot of characters. I want to apply that to Nanachi because I think that's interesting because I think Nanachi has assumedly a deep longing for Midi to return to normal, right? But that's seems to be impossible, right? I mean, based off the last line of the episode, seems like Nanachi truly has kind of given up, right? So I don't know, that longing though, right? That longing. And it makes you think too, like the longing to go into the abyss is something that this whole society, the whole society of Orth, like has, right? That's kind of what it's all based on. Is everyone wants to go down into this damn hole, you know? Um, what else it makes me think of is when Nanachi is talking later about the curse, and she compares it to like a trap, right? Like you can go down, but you can't go back up, right? Like one of those like fall traps, right? Um, it really, I think that's a very good way to look at it, right? And especially, it makes you think like what is the abyss, right? What is the force field, you know? Is it like luring people into it? Is that the idea, right? Like we're talking about longing as a curse, essentially. Um, what if there it literally is some kind of physical effect that if you live in Orth that like affects you and makes you want to go into the abyss, right? Maybe that's going too far. Um, but I don't know. It's certainly interesting, right? And I feel like thematically you could say that kind of makes sense as well. Hmm. It's hard for me to explain what I mean by that, but I'm just thinking about the idea of being like captured by this longing when it's like you can see the abyss in front of you, you know, surrounded by all of these like people who have like this single-minded focus on the same thing, you know what I mean? People who essentially do devote themselves to something that is seen as so important, like the abyss, you know, and the way that that would essentially like spread to like you as well, right? Like someone like Rico, you know. Once it catches hold of you, there is absolutely no escape. That is quite a curse, and yet the adventurers all willingly devote themselves to the thrall. Because Liza here says it's willing, right? And maybe that is important, that it is a willing thing, right? So maybe viewing this longing as some kind of part of the curse, maybe I shouldn't do that, right? Maybe that's like wrong, you know? Because Liza here says it's willing, and I think that is important, right? Like Rico's desire to go into the abyss, it being something that she like wants to do herself and not decided through some kind of external thing, I think is important, right? For like what you could say the abyss represents in general, you know? For them, a life without longing is more terrifying than death itself. And of course, right? I mean, yeah, right? Like a life without the abyss, you know what I mean? Like whatever you want to say the abyss represents in terms of just like something to devote your life to, right? Like, yeah, I mean, that line makes sense, right? If you don't have a reason to live, then yeah, that's more terrifying than death itself, I suppose, you know? And I just keep thinking about this with Nanachi as well, right? Because if Nanachi has such a strong longing for Midi to, like, I don't know, be alive and not be this blob, well, Nanachi, if Nanachi really thinks it's better for Midi to be dead, but I mean, Nanachi still can't do it herself, though, you know? Hmm, I don't know. Very interesting. Very interesting. The true nature of the curse. And you know what? I guess we kind of got the true nature of the curse, but really all we got was just a new question, which is like, what is the force field really? You know? It always comes back to the force field, but like, what is that? You know? So, like, I guess it's helpful. I guess it helps, but I don't know. God, it just brings me back every time Reg is thinking about his memories like this. It just makes me think how scary it has to be, you know? It just makes me think of that scene in episode 5, I think it was, after he shot the incinerator, and he was like looking up at all the trees, all the destroyed shit, you know? You just have to be thinking, it's like, really, what is he? Is he some kind of weapon, you know? And Reg's really thinking about like what happened then, right? Like, because there was no one buried there where Liza was, right? And we've kind of talked this point to death, but it's obvious to me that it means this whole bringing Liza's stuff up to be found was part of the plan, right? Whatever the plan was, right? Hmm. I don't know. I don't know. Midi's drooling all over Rico. Gotta. I don't know. Probably shouldn't do that. Probably unhealthy. Although I don't know if Midi's body neutralizes poisons, whatever that means. Maybe Midi's perfectly healthy. And God, it must hurt Nanachi, right? Normally Midi doesn't get attached to visitors. That must hurt Nanachi to see Midi like this, right? Expressing any form of like humanity at all. Because it would be so much easier for Nanachi to just say, okay, Midi's just gone completely. That would probably let Nanachi like do what she thinks she needs to do, right? And kill Midi, you know? Hmm. No, and she's making this food. Oh, yeah, and then, yeah, the medicine was made with injecting Mitty with the Orb Piercer's poison. Mitty has the ability to neutralize poisons all on her own. We didn't hear about that with the curse. I guess I don't know, that's something. How did Nanachi know that Mitty even has that ability? Is that, like, something with the weird scientist guy, maybe, right? The scientist White Whistle guy, that we saw the flashback of Nanachi with them. Maybe something. I mean, I don't know, right? Because by that point, Nanachi was already in this form, so we have to assume Mitty probably was as well. So then what? Did they, like, do a bunch of stuff to, like, test Mitty and, like, see what the effects... I dropped my pen. See what the effects of the curse of the sixth layer are on a person, maybe, right? Um, that would kind of make sense. I feel like that is something that people would want to, like, research, right? So maybe that's just it, right? I mean, that makes sense to me, I guess. Hmm. don't wanna tell Reg who they are exactly, what they were up to before all this, because then he'll want to save them. Then here's the Netherworld stew, which is unfortunately disgusting. So Reg doesn't like it. Nachi says that they have never had good food ever. So that's rough. I guess if you're like a child and you never learned how to cook, I guess it would be hard. I don't know. I feel like it can't be that hard to just, instead of grinding up a fish and putting it into this, just cook it. Like, I don't know. It can't be that hard, Nanachi. Like, surely, I bet Reg can do a better job than this. I'm sure. I'm sure he can. Nanachi is so embarrassed. If Rika wakes up and eats this, she's really gonna die. And the sound effect that plays when Frank says this is fucking insane. Like, it's interesting. It's like nighttime, right? Because I thought the force field is what, like, produced light and stuff. I thought it would just be like eternal daytime, essentially, in the abyss. You know? I know it was darker, like, down when they were at the what the hell did they call it? The inverted forest, right? But I don't know. No, it's normally we don't see it, like, time of day, like, changing like this. You know, it looks so pretty though. It looks so pretty. Talk about a girl with not much more than an insatiable curiosity and a piece of junk who can't regain even one of his important memories. And this is kind of one of the few things that Nachi says in this episode that makes me really think that, like, I don't know if Nanachi wants Reg and Rico to continue on their adventure. You know what I mean? Um, because I just feel like it has to be that Nanachi worries that they will just end up the same way, right? That one of them will, like, maybe not literally turn into Mitty, but they will, they'll lose one another, essentially, right? Um, I don't know, it wasn't really broached specifically, but Nanachi does say several things just like this, essentially. It's like, oh, you guys are really fucking screwed if you keep trying to go down into the abyss, you know? So, I don't know. I don't know if Nanachi is going to be, like, ever pushy about that idea that they need to stop. It certainly isn't going to work. Rico would not want to stop going into the abyss. But I certainly understand where Nanachi is coming from, if that really is, like, the meaning behind these lines, you know? Yeah, you did well just making it this far, right? Like, that line kind of implies, like, oh, if you keep going, you're fucking dead, you know? Yeah, it didn't work out so well in the end, right? Like, Nanachi really seems to think that this is the end of their journey, you know? Know how to evade the curse of the abyss. So it's interesting, right? Nanachi can see the curse. Um, I don't. Oh god, and I just realized. Reg says here that I'll do anything. I'll do whatever you want in return, anything I can. And Nanachi certainly did cash in on that, on that, on that promise at the end of the episode, huh? Completely forgot about that. Oh shit, man. But so Nanashi can see the curse, can see the force field, I guess, rather, not the curse. Um, and so I guess it's like these layers, right? It's not exactly like a gas, the way that Nanashi explains it. They really explain it like it's just these layers of things piled on top of you. And you can pass through it from above, but if you go up, you get hit by the curse, right? And you can pass through it from, like, sides, too, as well, obviously, right? But it moves around with you, and it reacts to your consciousness, which is, like, crazy. Um, Man, you could like thematically, I want to say there's something here because the idea of um like this like weight of like things piled up on top of you as you like descend into the abyss. There's a lot of like I feel like there's a lot of meaning you could take from that, right? Like the idea of just a bunch of like I don't know, the efforts of people in the past weighing down on you, that kind of thing, right? It's kind of I don't really have anywhere to go with that there. I'm just saying this type of thing I feel like could easily be an analogy for something, some kind of weight bearing down on people. You know what I mean? Hmm. So you get hit by the curse when you do that. Very, very cute. And so it even depends like what part of your body goes through it. So I mean, it has a very like physical effect. I like this because it really is. It's we're explaining that it really is. It's not like magic. It's not really calling even a curse seems unfair, right? It really is like a physical phenomena. It's a poorly understood one for sure, right? Perhaps people like Nanaji are the only ones who really do understand it this much because they can see the force field, right? So they can really tell what's going on, I guess. Hmm. And yeah, and it really does like trap you, right? It really makes you think. It's like it makes you think of the whole abyss really as like a trap, right? Hadn't really thought about it like that before, right? But I mean, I guess it's obvious, you know. Obviously, the abyss is like that. You know, you can descend, but you can't ascend, right? So, it makes you wonder: is there something at the bottom of the abyss? Like, wild, vague speculation. Is there something at the bottom of the abyss that wants to try and lure people down to it? You know what I mean? Maybe, right? Because, I mean, eventually you would assume something would reach the bottom if you literally can't go back up, right? Yeah, it's like a trap for catching prey. But obviously, like, the Abyss itself doesn't just want to, like, kill people, right? Like, I guess you could almost say that the force field is, like, itself a living organism of some kind that's, like, trapping things, right? But the Abyss itself doesn't, like, consume you if you die in it, you know what I mean? So, hmm, weird. Weird, weird, weird. Because the force field also does all these things, right? It makes it so easy to traverse it, right? It carries light, it's nutrients, right? We talked about that as well. You know what I mean? So it's like the force field is also what allows you to go down into it as well. You know what I mean? Because it would be fucking pitch black and terrifying down here without the force field also giving off light. You know. So if it is true that the force field itself somehow like evolved to act like this, then I mean that really fits. You know what I mean? Hmm. What does Nanashi call it there? Filling every corner of this pit, it's the very blood of the abyss. That's very interesting, right? Maybe the abyss is just a creature's mouth or something. We're just traveling down to its, I don't know, to its stomach, and we're just gonna die. Hmm. And yeah, and the force field essentially just isn't present here at all, seemingly, right? Which maybe makes sense, right? Because I mean, if you remember, the entrance to it did have the little like upward path, and if the force field is a physical thing, that's like a blood, right? It's almost like this is like an air pocket. You know what I mean? Hard to say, right? Because I mean, it doesn't seem like it's so simple that it just follows the laws of physics like that, right? But who knows? Who knows? So your consciousness can even alter it, right? It responds to their very consciousness and alters its flow. You can read someone's mind and can anticipate their movements. So that's what the Orb Piercer does. So like when it kicked away Blaze Reap, right? It just they looked at Blaze Reap and they're like, oh, we gotta go grab it. So I guess it could see the effect that was having on the force field. It's like, oh, they're looking at this thing. I'm gonna kick it away, right? I guess that makes sense. Fucking crazy though. But it makes so much sense that life down in the abyss would like evolve to be able to do that, you know? Because this is such a new, like, omnipresent factor in their environment. You know, it's actually so cool. It's the same way how it's like, you know, obviously plants and animals that exist on Earth evolved with the presence of like light and oxygen existing. So we use light and oxygen to like be alive, you know? But in the abyss, there's another like factor here, which is the force field. So of course, life down in the abyss, you know, has evolved to like, you know, do stuff with the force field. It's so cool. It's so awesome. Very cool. And yeah, I guess you can literally predict the future. I mean, I guess it's like, you know, because anytime before you act and do something, you're going to like think about doing it. And if that affects the force field somehow, then yeah, that's cool. Of course, that like doesn't make any sense. I don't know how. Like, I don't know. We're really veering off into the realm of like who knows what now. If we're saying consciousness can somehow affect the physical world, but I don't know. I don't know. Yet another line from Nanashi, kind of in the same vein of what I said earlier, almost like kind of hinting at that they should not go any deeper. You know. Hmm. One thing I know, something like that can't stop someone's longing. And that's the line that like makes you think, like, okay, maybe, I mean, maybe they aren't, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So now she gives Reg this little, I guess, earpiece thing. I guess we have those. I didn't know those existed. So, okay, we have this crazy dream with Mitty and Rico. Um, where we see Mitty crying. So first of all, I don't know if this is if Rika right now is like embodying like almost like what Mitty feels like, you know? Something like that perhaps. But I don't know, she looks out and sees Mitty's eye and hears this horrible crying, and it's just really, really gets across the idea that Mitty is essentially just suffering permanently. So I completely understand if Nanachi wants Mitty dead, and I completely understand why Nanachi can't do it themselves, you know, like, rough. Hmm. So what were we even doing here? Were we gonna go kill Orb-chan, the Orb Piercer? But like we kind of get sidetracked here by when the Black Whistle shows up. So I don't even know. I don't know if this was the plan to go kill the Orb Piercer. I guess I don't know, because it seems like we kind of like this derailed whatever they were doing initially. But who knows? I guess. So there is a Black Whistle here, which is crazy. First random cave raider we ran into, and nothing happens with him. So I guess. So God, this is so fucking cool. So Nanachi gives Reg instructions on what to do, because in order to defeat a predator like this, you have to decouple your consciousness from your actions, right? Because if you think about what you're going to do before you do it, this thing can essentially see the future and it knows what you're going to do, and it's impossible to fucking do anything, basically. So, since Reg is just blindly following Nanachi's instructions without knowing what's going on, it decouples, it makes it so there's no effect on the force field for what Reg is about to do, right? Because he doesn't have to think. He just like, oh, jump to the right. Okay, I'll do that. And yeah, he catches it. He catches it. The organ it uses to sense the force field. Very cool. Very cool. God, I hope Reg is immune to poison. I guess he seems fine later, so he's probably okay. And he ties it up and he's gonna blast it. But unfortunately, he kind of misses. It ejects its spines, I guess. Nanachi has a very strong reaction to seeing this. At first, I was thinking, like, okay, maybe Nanachi has seen something like Reg before, because Nanachi was down deep in the abyss. Maybe that's still possible. Now I'm thinking, maybe Nanachi is looking at this and thinking, like, this is a good way to kill Mitty, like, painlessly, I guess, right? Because, like, that look in Nanashi's eyes there is kind of, I don't know. And then right after this is when Nanachi brings that up, you know, right after seeing the incinerator. Yeah. Hmm. And Reg gives a message for the Black Whistle, bring up to leader. Our journey continues, essentially. Still on our adventure. As letting them know that we're both not dead and that we're not giving up, right? I think that's important because we have to affirm that obviously, yeah, we aren't giving up after all this, right? Despite the struggle. Hmm. And here we go. Can you please kill Mitty for me? Which, I mean, I get it so much. I don't know. I don't know. It's so sad. It's so sad, right? But we've known that Nanashi has this outlook on Mitty. They said as much in the last episode, right? That it's impossible to turn them back to the way they were before. And I guess I believe it. They must have tried, who knows, a no number of things to try and fix MIDI, and I guess it really is just impossible, you know? I mean, how would you fix them? You know, they became a blob, right? What are you gonna do, you know? So, yeah. Time to kill MIDI, I guess. And I mean, it certainly seems like a good decision too. I think it's impossible to fix Mitty, and Mitty seems to literally be in constant suffering. So and I understand why, of course, Nanchi hasn't been able to do it themselves, you know. And here we see the crazy thing from the opening, the blue laser thing, right? And this is Nunchi escaping with Mitty. I won't let him keep doing as he pleases anymore. So I assume Nunchi is talking about the evil scientist dude, the white whistle, right? Yeah, this makes so much sense. They must have been like doing stuff with Mitty, like researching the curse or something, you know? Hmm. And that's the end. I'll figure something out. It's so sad because Nanachi did not figure something out. This is it, right? This is the end. Given up on it, which is really, God, I don't know. It's interesting because like it with the beginning of the episode talking about like having a life without longing, you know, it's like if Nanachi's longing has always been Mitty and has been, you know, just Mitty, I guess, right? Well, Mitty's not going to be around anymore, right? So Nanachi's going to need to find something new. And maybe accompanying us on our journey is going to be that new thing that Mitty can find meaning in, right? Because a life without longing is more terrifying than death itself, as Liza said. Well, I guess that's it. That was kind of a depressing episode, honestly, but what are you going to do? Um, yeah, okay. Well, subscribe, please, if you enjoy my videos. This was the second to last episode. We got the last episode of Season 1 next time. So, looking forward to that. And yeah, I guess that is it. Leave a comment, tell me what you think, and I will see you in the next one.